here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. Gosh, I have a lot to talk about this week, so let's get started. First, I have a question for Sarah in Houston regarding knitting, and that is, here is the ribbing on my hat so far. So, I was making really great progress a couple of weeks ago, and then I realized that I'd gotten so absorbed in the program I was watching. I was watching season 2 of Mystery Road on Acorn, and I suddenly realized that my stitch marker was gone. That marked the beginning of the round. So, Sarah in Houston, if you have any suggestions on helping me figure out, I don't think I'd gotten too far. In fact, I probably hadn't gone a complete round when I lost it, or when I noticed I had lost it. And I do have the stitch marker. My concern is knowing where to put it. So, if you have any tips or tricks on figuring out where it belongs, I can't go by the tail down here at the bottom because I was weaving as I knit the tail in when I start knitting, so that I don't have to weave it in at the end. So that's out. So if you have any suggestions for helping me find where that stitch marker goes, I was thinking maybe counting, I'm not great at this, but counting the V's going up on either side of in various places. I mean, it's going to take me a while. I really don't want to frog this and start over. So if you have any suggestions, help. Number 2, I got some awesome mail this week. I had a surprise package show up from Crystal in Calgary, and it had 2 quilts in it for my Project Linus group to donate. This is one of them. You guys have probably seen this in her video. This is the other one, which is one of my favorite ones. I love the mermaid fabric. So thank you so much for that, Crystal. That's really awesome. And it was kind of you and generous of you to share your gift with my Project Linus group here in Albuquerque. Finally, it's time to talk about the elephant in the project room. And that elephant is, of course, my new Moxie. You know, I've been doing lots of organizing and rearranging. Now you know why. You know, I finally came to the conclusion that if I had never owned that big frame I owned a few years ago, I probably would have been perfectly happy with the Q-Zone hoop frame. I work full-time, and while the Q-Zone hoop is not difficult to use, and it's not difficult to shift the quilt from side to side to do a bigger quilt, it was time consuming. You know, my free time for quilting is limited, and I want to be able to get as much done as I can. And I have this 2 racks worth of quilt tops waiting to be quilted over here, either for personal use or gifts or for Project Linus. And you know what? Enough is enough. So I had been in discussions with, obviously not the dealer that sold me the Q-Zone frame, and that was the Janome Foff Singer dealer. I wasn't going to go back to him because he did not support the purchase. You know, I was missing parts. It was supposed to be a new frame, but there were screws missing. There were things I never talked about that were wrong with that frame. And I mean, Grace, I cannot recommend their customer service enough. They were fantastic. If it hadn't been for Grace, I probably would have, I don't know, just been beside myself with grief over that stupid frame. Thanks to Jason in tech support at Grace, you know, thanks to his diligence and his assistance, I was able to get it up and running, and I was able to have a system that worked, even if it wasn't a system that worked the way I wanted it to for me. Honestly, if the original dealer hadn't put such a bad taste in my mouth about that frame to begin with, I probably would have been much more gracious about the challenges that it brought into my life. So I did reach out to the Brother Juki dealer. I actually was looking at getting the Juki 18-inch. I was a little leery about having to rely on him for customer service and tech support when it came to the Juki. And he was constantly trying to upsell me. It just wasn't a good experience for me. And so I thought, all right, there's one dealer left in town. And that's the Bernina / Baby Lock / Handy Quilter dealer. As much as I enjoyed Grace, there is not a dealer within even a few hours drive. There's not a repair place that I could take it if I needed to get a repair, whether it was warranty supported or not. There's nowhere within driving distance, decent driving distance, even a few hours, that I could take it for that. And I really wanted to be able to deal with anything that came up. And so I thought, last shot, I'm going to contact the Bernina Baby Lock Handy Quilter dealer. This was in October. He said, Handy Quilter is about to come out with a new machine. And he goes, you didn't tell me what your price point is, but this machine is going to cost X amount of dollars. And if that's within your price point, you might want to wait and see if it's something that you would like. I immediately appreciated the fact that that he didn't really try to sell me anything immediately. He just said, this machine is going to do this, it's going to be this size, it's going to come with an 8-foot frame, it includes the frame in the purchase, it's stitch regulated, it's a 15-inch machine. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, I recommend you wait a week and check out that announcement and see if it's something you want to try out. That was, of course, the Moxie. I watched the launch, I did due diligence, I asked a lot of questions, and I have to say kudos to the Handy Quilter team handling their social media and also on the website, and also Steve at Ann Silva's Bernina here in town. But I was bombarding people with questions. They were happily answering my questions. You know, it's perfect for me because I wasn't looking to do computerized quilting. I find it relaxing to free motion quilt. And when it's not a hassle getting the quilt loaded and all of that, I find it really zen and very, very relaxing to me. So the ability to not have to base the quilt, to not have to move the quilt, except to roll it back, to not have to roll it back every single pass, all of that was a plus. And the size was a plus. And I will say, even at 8 feet, it's a tight fit in here. I have about 20 inches between the belly bar on this machine and my sewing table. Thankfully, my stool rolls under the sewing table when I'm not using it. I'm super excited. I've been doing some practice quilting on here. The light frame showed up after the rest of the system, so I just got it put together on Sunday, and that was, let me tell you, if you do anything like this, if you do a setup like this yourself, originally the dealer was going to do it for me, but because of it arriving on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, he said he could just send me the check. If I was okay with putting it together, I could, or he would be happy to put it together for me this week. Who's going to wait? I mean, seriously. It arrived on Wednesday, and so I got to spend some serious quality time. And I have to say, if this is something that, if you wonder about being able to do this yourself, I'm 52 years old. I'm not in great shape physically. And with the exception of my daughter helping me after I got the body of the frame assembled on the floor, helping me set it up upright so that I didn't get anything bent or whatever, or loosen my screws while I was setting it up. She helped me get it upright. With the exception of that, I did it all by myself. Completely by myself. You can do this. So that's all I want to say. Don't be afraid of thinking that, you know, you have to have, if you don't have a dealer anywhere near you, you could totally do this. I send some awesome gridded practice fabric with the machine. I send this accessory kit, and included in that is a Learn to Quilt kit. We get a bobbin winder, a crap ton of long arm pins, a spool of Fantastico, which is just gorgeous, a large spool, a small spool of King Tut, which is also a very pretty, this is like Mardi Gras kind of colors, and another spool of Omni, so that you can try out different things and see what you like. And also, oh, So Fine in white, 2 10 packs of long arm needles, a channel lock, 1 channel lock, a needle threader. I have to say I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with what they put together in this package, and so far I'm really impressed with the stitching. I will insert a picture of my practice quilting so far, and it's just me screwing around. So, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot. I also finished Lucy's Love Notes, the Project Linus Mystery Quilt. I found out on the previous Friday that this was going to arrive the week of Thanksgiving, and so I made a point of finishing Lucy. So I got all the blocks finished, and I got the top pieced. And let me tell you, I'm really bad about following directions, and I'm really bad about following patterns. I get things, I forget steps, I get things backwards, which is why I tend to not follow patterns and why I don't make clothes. All of the problems that I had doing that, because I wasn't going back and looking at the pattern to make sure I knew what I was doing, and I was tired. I had dental surgery on Monday the 23rd, and that day I was working on assembling this top. I made all kinds of mistakes because I was tired and in pain. Thankfully, because I know I'm like this, I bought an extra half yard of background fabric. So I had plenty of background fabric, and all of the issues that I had were ones that could be solved by just adding a strip of background fabric to make it the right size. So it all came out in the end. It's finished. It's hanging in the waiting to be quilted pile over there, and I will insert a picture of that at the end of this video. I look forward to watching all of your videos. I look forward to getting caught up on all of my unfinished quilt tops. I'm hoping to dive into the first quilt this weekend, if not before. And I will see y'all next week. Bye!